players, are you tired of playing boring characters? And DMs, are you tired of playing lame NPCs? Well, don't worry, because I'm here to help bring your characters to life. Welcome to the Dungeon Coach. I'm the Dungeon Coach. I'm going to help lower that DC in your game by giving you a quick and efficient method to make some awesome characters. Whoa. And that is what is possible with the animation powers of NeverEnding. They are the new sponsors of this channel, and they use their own animation platform to create that intro. You can use their character builder to customize your character or your entire party. Build a scene by picking a background and dragging and dropping characters, objects, and items into it. Then easily duplicate it and shift it around to animate it yourself. You can take any of those great story moments you want from your own campaigns and bring them to life, or from other people's campaigns, or just tell a funny story. Their Kickstarter just started, and there'll be a link down below to their website and a free access to their character builder. And while I'm at it, I might as well show you this, because I've been snapping a lot in my videos. Oh yeah. So as usual, a huge thank you to all my supporters over on Patreon for the new light setup. Creating cool characters is for both players and DMs. I'm going to share with you guys the most simple and efficient character creation tool to really bring those characters to life with some personality. I've used this for years for both new and veteran players, and personally use it myself to create NPCs in less than 10 seconds. This will stop you from those lame, awkward NPCs that you have to create on the fly. So for any character, all you need are their core characteristics. On the Dungeons & Dragons character sheet, there's 4 things: personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. This has never really been all that helpful to me, especially the ideals and bonds part. I really feel like stuff like that fits more into their backstory. Link right here for that video. So should you have a backstory? Yes, you should know where you came from. And like I said, I've done multiple videos on how important I think this is. But we're trying to bring your characters to life here with some cool personality. So how do you do it? Here's my simplified version: personality traits and quirks. That's it. You have these 2 simple things and you can roleplay any character. A lot of times people make role-playing way more complicated than it needs to be and get lost in it. Time out. I learned this firsthand from the first group that I ever DM'd for. I had a first-time player that was really shy and reserved and was always the least talkative of the group. As a DM, I would really encourage you to reach out to those players, engage them, and inspire them to roleplay. I could do a whole video about all the different ways that I trick my players into roleplaying. But I stumbled into this revelation on accident. The party was traveling through a hippie-filled village with a lot of awesome people and awesome herbs. The town had a magical aura that surrounded it. The whole group had to make a saving throw, but this one shy player was the only one who failed. So when I described his failure, I said, "Man, you're feeling real good." And you get this overwhelming sense of positivity and optimism. So I just thought it'd be funny to throw this spell effect at him, but I stumbled into something amazing. Once I told him that player came to life. I had never seen him talk so much, engaging with both players and NPCs. He even took on a little bit of an accent and sounded like Matthew McConaughey. Well, all right. Not the best accent of mine, but if you want to check out over 40 impressions I can do, check out this video right here. I really want to do a follow-up video on that to show you how to do them. So for that entire city adventure, this once shy character was talking and interjecting in character so much more. After the session was over, I was shocked at what such a simple prompt could do for a player. All I had said was, "You feel really positive and optimistic." And he ran with it. What if this is how you help your players find their character and truly be able to roleplay them better? So I have 2 tables I've made for this, one for personality and one for a character quirk. There'll be a link to this document I made down in the description. I put it up on the DMs Guild as a pay what you want. I did not want to put this behind a paywall, but if you truly feel like you get a lot of value from this, then pay whatever you feel like it's worth. But if you're thinking of doing that, you might as well join my Patreon. I just updated all my reward tiers to give my supporters on there even more. The Young Dragon tier unlocks access to all of my custom digital resources for free. Like this one, for example, that I just made pay what you want because of this video. You also get any future ones I make too. And like I said before, thank you to all my patrons for supporting this channel. I take all the money and put it right back in, like these cool lights. Anyway, before going over this table, I need to give credit where credit's due. Madeline Hale, the author of Table Fables, is my inspiration for this table. Her book, Table Fables for the Weary Game Master, sparked this idea. I'll have links down below dedicated to this book, but next week I'm doing an entire video reviewing the whole thing. Her entire line of books has been a huge inspiration to me, and I got to talk with her, and she's going to be sponsoring that video and doing a giveaway. I have raved about her book since before starting this YouTube channel, so I'm really excited to give some copies to you guys. So here's how the personality works. What is more helpful than an elaborate backstory and cool character voices is an actual emotion of some kind, like that positivity or optimism example. If I just told you to be yourself, but amplify one specific emotion I gave you, you know how to do that pretty easy. And let's spice it up and give you a weird quirk. Boom, you got your character. All this is 2 different D100 tables. So right now live, I'm gonna improv some for you guys. This is gonna be 100% legit here. I really am gonna roll for these. That's 1. All right. For the personality, we got imaginative, and the quirk is overly emotional. That's all you need. Just think about what that character would be like. I would imagine that this character would be some sort of shop owner that has to create something. And all of his items would be super imaginative and next level. A magic shop, apothecary, leather worker, anything. And once they created something awesome with that imagination, they'd get overwhelmed with emotion, probably start crying. But I just noticed all it said was overly emotional, and I went to crying. You can take it wherever you want. Next character. Dignified and extreme paranoia. So this character would be pompous and dignified, but head on a swivel, always paranoid. Let's do one more. Quiet for the personality and missing a limb for the quirk. Now this would be quite a bold move if a player chose to do this instead of an NPC, but we'll talk more about that later. So let's say this character's missing an entire arm and speaks very softly. Why are they missing it? Maybe they're too shy and quiet to talk about it. But whether this is a PC or an NPC, why are they missing that arm? Why are they so secretive about it? And that's just the beginning. So players, share this with your DM to help them make some awesome NPCs for you to interact with. And DMs, share this video with your players to let them feel more comfortable at the table role-playing their own character. So now that you have these 3 characters, if you want to make them into NPCs or PCs, you need one more thing: give it a voice. I just did that big impressions video where I did over 40 voices, but I would not recommend copying a popular character exactly. Just use a piece of their voice as inspiration. I have a list for me personally as a DM, but you would have to make this for yourself with what voices you're comfortable with. So for example, let's give voices to these 3 characters. For the imaginative and overly emotional character, maybe he's a little older. Maybe he sounds like this, and he's lived so long that he's seen so many things and he wants to try more. So you want to get to high places quickly? I have an idea. What if we get a bow and a grappling hook, and you can shoot it to climb up? That's brilliant. For the dignified character, they would probably speak like this, cutting off their words ever so softly. You would just look for opportunities to make this character really paranoid about something. Yes, I'll make the deal with you, but empty your bag first, let me see it. But who are you working for? Yeah, what do you want? This? Long story. I could literally see myself playing all of these NPCs, and it wouldn't be a bland or boring experience for myself or my players. But I would say to keep in mind, if you're a DM doing an NPC and want to do a strange or difficult voice, go for it. But if you're a player, keep in mind, you're stuck with this voice for maybe the whole campaign, just like Sam Riegel did for Knott's voice.
You're finally awake, I see.
Oh yeah, it's on.
So make sure you choose something that you're comfortable and confident doing. Time out. So behind the scenes look here on my screen that I already did a video for, linked right here, but I have tables exactly like this on the back of my screen. The top left corner of my screen is my NPC on the fly creation table. I have a list for male and female names, both generic and sketchy, for the darker characters. And I have a D10 list of this personality and quirk combos in a table. On my list right here, if I roll the 5, that NPC would be considerate and an insomniac. Or if I roll the 7, cheerful and very loud. This is exactly what we all just did together and all you need for NPCs. I use this method for both on the fly and pre-made NPCs. And if I know my players are gonna run across someone, I do it beforehand. I usually don't do this randomly, and I'll look through the table for what would make sense for that character in that moment where that story's going. Time out. I think I'm out of timeouts. Another great DM tip for creating NPCs from the great Matthew Mercer are these 2 things. What does this character want and what do they fear? These can be great driving forces for you as a DM to know what kind of decisions this NPC would make on the fly. But what if you want to create something more than just a regular old NPC? These are 2 more things that I add on for key NPCs that'll be recurring or PCs themselves. I add in a goal and a redemption arc. A character's goal is what they want to accomplish, both short and long term, and a redemption arc is my version of a flaw. But the difference there is the redemption arc has a growth concept. Characters should adapt and change and be dynamic over time, which is where most of my problems with the current alignment system come in. But that's a whole video. Giving your character a flaw is huge, but I really think part of their story should be about overcoming it. Maybe some of these flaws are permanent and don't change, but I think the coolest flaws are something that the character overcomes over time and really work on. And this something to work on concept also ties into the goal. Goals give your character a direction and a purpose. I talk about this in more detail in a video linked right here. But no matter how big or small, and no matter how closely connected it is to the main storyline or not, these are important. You really want to know your character's motivation while role-playing them and making decisions. But as a tip to players, it is a smart thing to do and nice to your DM if your goal and flaws revolve around the campaign you're in and make sense. But back to the redemption arc, I could do an entire video on this because it's so important, but don't just have a flaw for the sake of having a flaw, and you're just hopelessly flawed. Iron Man, for example, starts off as cocky and brash. But over the course of his character arc, we see him change and become a caring and compassionate, self-sacrificing leader. I just got nerd chills thinking about it. The Hulk starts off as embarrassed and frustrated by his powers. He has a huge struggle across multiple films until finally literally blending the two of them together. Your character should not be perfect. They should have some cracks in their armor that they work on and change over time. This makes them way more real. Time out. Now I have to say this. If you choose to play a character who's a jerk, then redeem that jerk. Don't just run around ruining people's time at the table saying things like, oh, that's what my character would do. It's fine to play a flawed character, but as the human playing that character, redeem them. Look for any moment you can while playing that your character might pick up on and start to become better. This whole character creation concept is so important. I have so many follow-up videos I want to do. For DMs, I want to show you how to create an entire city of NPCs, show you how to inspire your players to roleplay better, and challenge your players with those moral decisions to give them opportunities for change. Or for players, I want to help you make dynamic characters that are memorable, and tips and tricks on how to roleplay to make it feel more natural. And then there's that video on how to do character voices for everybody. So if this video gets 400 likes in the next 4 days, I'll make a poll on my community page. Make sure you turn on that notification bell. I'll list off all those options and y'all as a community will literally vote on what that video will be. So I hope this video got you excited to create some awesome characters to roleplay. I have so many resources for you guys down in the description. Go download that character creation document and pay what you want. It really does help me do more for this channel, and like I said, I put everything right back into it. Just look at how far we've come in the last 6 months. Literally all of that is thanks to all my patrons, which is why I try and give back so much with exclusive Discord channels, y'all voting on videos, custom digital resources, and one-on-one coaching time. So if you're interested in that, then click right here. But if you want to see even more resources, then check out that link to Table Fables down in the description, or check out next week's video with that giveaway. Subscribe right here and get even more content to make your games more efficient and more fun. So until next time, stay creative and think outside that box. Peace.